from real estate
affects the market as a whole, which then sometimes will affect the 10.
Right. It'll come in.
to real life.
We all learn in different ways. If you think about it, Wayne Dyer might not attract everybody.
And everything in between.
Mission was really to help people just to reach their full potential.
The Brad Wiseman Show. And now, your host, Brad Wiseman.
All right. We have a great show lined up for you tonight. I got to tell you, I'm excited. Hugo, I'm excited.
You're excited?
I'm really excited. Yeah. You know, it's cool. We're starting, we've always had great guests, but we're just kind of like really getting a lot of traction on some just fantastic guests that are coming in, telling their stories, and it's really exciting. So, this lady here was actually introduced to us through Sylvie DeGiusto, which I didn't realize until we were just talking.
Yeah.
But yes, she was brought to us from Sylvie, and she's from Charleston, South Carolina. It says, this is one of the things that I just caught me. It says, meet any moment from your power, not your patterns. I saw that, and then I saw not only is energy your currency, but how you spend it is your power. When you read those kind of quotes, and when you see that kind of stuff, it sets you off and goes, man, I want to know more about this.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So Shauna VanBogart is our guest tonight, and I'm super excited. She's coming from Charleston, South Carolina. What's the weather like down there?
80s still.
All right. It's still, was that a dig on the north? I think that was a dig on the north.
No, I'm a Minnesotan at heart. So
all right.
So
I thought you were digging on us.
August around here is not my thing.
Oh yeah. It's really hot down there in August, right? Yeah.
Right. So then when September hits, I'm like, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, it's a place that most people say, when I'm done working, when I retire, I'm going to South Carolina or North Carolina or Georgia. People just want to get away from up here because the winters are a little rough.
Right.
They're a little rough. Yeah. So it's so funny how we figured out how we know each other. Well, you figured it out. You knew right away. It's through Sylvie, and we have a great common friend in Sylvie DeGiusto who we love. So that's cool.
Yeah, she's easy to love.
She's easy to love. She definitely is. So yeah, so I've been watching your stuff on Instagram. I've been looking at everything you're doing. I'm watching the websites, and recently you started this new thing called the Resonance House, or at least new that I could see, and maybe you've been working on it for a while. It is really, really cool what I'm seeing on there. A lot of it has to do with like energy and stuff like that. It has to do with image. It has to do with, all those things. So I just wanted to say, before we get started, some of the other things that you've done is that you were world's top personal branding expert by Huffington Post. They named you that. Tell us a little bit about that, the personal branding that you've done.
Yeah. So I came into image consulting in 2008, 2009. And that meant something very different to me when I launched it in Charleston than how it was received.
Okay.
So I took that word and I said, it needs a different label. And at that time, the internet was a very different place.
Yeah.
Social media was very different. It was just taking off in big ways, like professionally. And I really entered that market of working with people's presence at that time as an consultant in a really interesting time period, because everything was moving to online presence and cultivating your online persona. And so at that time, I switched it over to personal branding as I kind of burrowed deeper into my craft. And initially, what was working with appearance, body language, communication became working with people's presence online.
Wow.
And so I kind of lingered in that world for several years. And then with Sylvie, we launched a training hub that was international for a while. We had that for several years. And I just kept going deeper and deeper into people's presence.
Wow. So that's how it started. So you just kind of used to scratch the surface a little bit.
Right.
And now you're going in.
Now I'm going in.
You're going in. You're taking
it or not, I'm going there.
Right. Great. Wonder what she's going to say about me, Hugo. But you're going in. You're actually because it's so true. What we see out here is completely different than what's going on in here.
Right.
And I think that's a big thing today. It's such a common thing I'm hearing with our guests today that come in on the show is about being, you got to be good to yourself or with yourself before you can do anything else. You have to have the right energy inside, or you're going to give off bad vibes and things on the outside.
Right.
So let's go into this whole thing of what is resonance. You have this site called Resonance House. What is resonance? What does that mean to you?
It's a deep alignment with an inner world and your outer world. In the shortest way, it's a vibe, and you know it. You know it when you walk into a house. You resonate with it or not. You can feel it has an energy to it or not. We resonate with certain people. So it's really a deep, inherent connection that we have to something.
Mm, that's cool. So it resonates. I mean, that's the
It
word
resonates.
resonate. It
Yeah,
resonates with you.
right.
And you know, and we just had somebody on here recently talking about the energy in a house that we
Yeah.
talked to is Adam, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was talking about, I mean, he sages homes. He actually goes in and does
Okay.
saging,
Yeah.
saging and instead of staging, or both he does.
Yeah.
And he
Love
does it because he said if there's a divorce in the house, there's energy in there that needs to be maybe
it.
changed,
Yeah.
you know, and it's interesting. So what do you offer then to people that come to you? What are you doing? Like, how do you do this?
Yeah, so I've been in professional development obviously since 2009. And over the years, I had a very traditional coaching platform. My offer stack was what you'd see from a lot of coaches, one to one coaching, signature programs. And a few years ago, I just kind of was looking around at the industry and I noticed there was a shift happening. And I'm constantly asking myself the question, how can I get even better results? And for me, it was how can I create more of an experience and give people the direct result, not so much a lot of lecturing or
Mhm.
intellectual theories that I'm giving them in programs and then they have to take home and implement. Like, how can I just give them the result?
Mm,
So, as I sat back for years, I also went on my own personal journey, as we do in our reinventions. And what I learned now looking back is that the way that I got here to Resonance House was that I had to access more of me. And it's
mm,
kind of the old adage, perhaps even previous guests have talked about it when you talk about being versus doing. It's like when you're going to go to a different place or a different level, whether that's in a relationship or your success, career, whatever, you oftentimes have to be or shift identity to get there. Like it's
yeah.
not going to take the same things to get to the next level. And so as I stepped back, I realized I really needed to tap into my intuition and own those skills. I really had to tap into my sense of creativity and go even deeper and like push boundaries in that department. And so I started unlocking these different spaces inside of myself, of course, with the help
Mm,
of mentors and all of that. And then as I look at my audience and I just kind of sat back and listened for almost 2 years to what was
wow.
happening, what was going on with my audience, what were their direct needs, and this idea of energy started to become a bigger topic I was seeing online. And innately, that's always been something as a highly sensitive person that I pick up on since I was a child. You know, I
Yeah.
can walk into a room and I can know exactly what the pulse is between that group of people and this group of people. And there's been some other services I've done with working with people's energy and being able to express back to them what's going on inside of them before they could really see it. And so I'm taking all
Mm,
this experience and I'm going, how can I deliver this? And along my journey, I had gone and gotten my hypnotherapy certification as well, and had a mentor that I worked with for about a year and a half in that department. So I was doing hypnotherapy to create changes on a really subconscious level with people. And most of what I was doing was self hypnosis tracks. And
mm,
so as I took all of these things together, I thought, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool if there was a house, a metaphorical house that women could step into as this online platform and unlock these same rooms, oftentimes spaces within themselves that they don't really access on a regular basis for a lot of reasons. And so
yeah.
that's kind of where the idea started. And inside of these rooms, the core of it are these audio immersive journeys. But that again, I also wanted to take to a whole different level. I didn't just want a typical self hypnosis track. I don't know if you've ever listened to one. It's like a
Yeah.
guided meditation.
Yeah. So when you say, yeah, is it the audio track? I mean, we use it sometimes with my son and my daughter. We've used these
Yes,
the calming ones to go to
yes,
sleep.
yes.
There's no danger, everything's okay, you know, that kind of stuff. So is it that kind of it's a
Basically,
hypnotic. Yeah, it kind of just calms you down and puts you to sleep.
basically,
It
but
puts me out right away.
oh, totally. Yes,
Yeah.
people are much more, susceptible to being hypnotized than
Yeah, yeah,
others.
yeah.
I really wanted to take it one step further and make it more of an energy. Especially I think women especially pick up on that. When we go into certain environments, it's either like an exhale or we're like, this environment's not it. Like vibes are off.
Yeah.
And so as I understood my audience really well, I knew there were some basic desires they weren't getting enough of that if they had in their life, like deepening their intuition or their creativity, that they could go do the things they needed to do and have the outcomes they were looking for across the board. So then the goal became, how do I bottle up these energies into a 15-minute audio track that is like an
Wow.
hypnosis, but much more of a scene that they're a main character of, that I'm putting them in, that's really cinematic in tone
Wow.
and music, and it's much more like a journey. So I started playing with that. It was really well received, and then that's how
Wow. That's really different. I don't know if I've ever heard of that, something like that.
I have
So,
not.
and it's your voice doing it?
It's my voice. So I did not know that I had a knack for audio tracks and narration, but apparently I
Wow.
do. So this is not my hypnosis voice, but if you there's
Can
some
you give us a little bit of your hypnosis voice?
oh
We'd love to hear it.
man.
Yeah, come on. We want to hear this.
All right, Brad.
Go ahead. Are your kitchen and bathroom remodels a little overdue? Well, now's your chance to call First Response Contracting. John Sellers will take care of you. 484-256-7136. They do residential and commercial, and they're licensed and insured. Give them a call at 484-256-7136.
Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And then imagine you're stepping into a room filled with swirling lavender light.
That's
How's that?
good. That was good. You sound like
There you go.
Are you the lady that's on the track we give that my son listens to?
Maybe. I made a Little Journeys collection, and there's a kid's sleep track in there that's killing it.
Wait,
I'm like shocked.
Wait. Is it possible that's the one we're using?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's inside
Jeez.
President's house.
I'm like, that's kind of creepy.
But it's
That
taking
is
off.
so
People are talking
cool.
about that audio track more than some of the others. So I'm like, maybe I need to pivot into kids' bedtime.
Well, I think you know what it is. Kids, they have a lot of input. A lot of input coming into them. They have a lot coming in.
Can't shut it
And
off.
it's hard to, and so do we. It's just that I think somehow we're able to, or maybe we're not either, but somehow we're able to maybe deal with it better. But they get so much coming in. And I
Mhm.
think it's just nice to hear that calming voice saying it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be okay. It's all good. You know, close your eyes. Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of the stuff that I hear on there.
Right.
And it's stuff. Listen to us. I mean, we're talking about the same stuff. We're adults.
Right.
And we need the same things they need.
Desperately need it.
Yeah, I mean, we do. We need all of that. And I think it's what is really cool though is that the common denominator I keep hearing is this energy and you know, figuring out the different rooms. Now, let's go back to the rooms thing.
Yeah.
Give me an example of a room like that you've discovered or that you've uncovered inside yourself.
I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to give you a common one just among women. So this was a
Okay.
threshold I crossed myself, but I see it all the time with my clients. One of the rooms I created is the Receiving Parlor, because women are notoriously bad at receiving, whether that's support, gifts, compliments without deflecting or feeling the need to immediately reciprocate. And a lot of the women that I work with, we're talking high performers, insane drive and determination. They're oftentimes hyper independent.
Yeah.
And doing everything themselves. And they do it pretty well.
And controlling probably too.
And controlling.
Not
and
good at delegating.
Yes, controlling,
Right? Yep.
managing, right?
Yep.
And so one of the areas that a lot of women have even said, like, I need to work on expanding my capacity to receive. And
wow.
that is either, again, love, support, more money, stable money, whatever. So that particular room is a really important one because that opens the door to so much other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times too, I think people will invest in themselves, but they do kind of have a block on receiving what's being given to them because it's triggering. It's a vulnerable position to be in. A state of giving is a power position.
Absolutely.
It's a control position, and so being in a receiving position it's vulnerable.
Well, a lot of times that begins with asking for help.
Absolutely.
And then what comes back from when you ask for help, which is a very brave thing to do sometimes, or feels like you're weak when you ask for help.
Right.
Because we're kind of taught that, I guess, through society. And
Right.
then all of a sudden you receive the help.
Right.
Now you feel even more like it's hard to receive. And and it's funny, and I guess it's more, what you're saying is it's more common with women. You feel that's the way it is?
So,
Or is it just because you are a woman and you're feeling that, okay, this is how I feel?
I think, I mean, It goes both ways, of
Yeah.
course. But I
Yeah.
think, I'm 41, and I was raised in a generation where I saw, my parents saying, like, you be independent.
Yeah.
Like, you go off and make your own. And most of my colleagues and friends in the same kind of age demographic, same way. And so there was this fierce independence. We left high school and it was like, I'm doing it all myself. And so,
You want to know a statistic that'll follow that you're going
yeah.
to be amazed by? The statistic of single women buying homes
Mhm.
far exceeds
Mhm.
single men buying homes.
Interesting.
Is that cool or what? For
Yeah.
you to know, no, it's a good point for you to know because
Yeah.
and it's a fact. I mean, it's a statistic that if you look at it, because what's weird is a lot of times the boys will stay at home for a longer time, and the girls are more independent. Women are more independent and ready to make that jump out of the nest,
Right.
and they end up buying homes by themselves. We see it. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable how many more
That's
times we see
cool.
that.
That's a cool
Yeah,
stat.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought you would want to know that from the
Yeah.
real estate angle. I mean.
Yeah.
I happen to know something about real estate every once in a while.
I would hope so.
Yeah, me too. But no, so keep going with that. So basically the receiving is you call it the receiving parlor. Is that what you said? I
Yeah,
love
the
that.
receiving parlor. I
I
mean,
love that.
and the thing for me, I worked with people on really deep levels for a long time, and therapeutic presence. I don't know if you've heard that term, but
Mm-mm.
it's a therapy term, of course. Therapeutic presence is basically when the provider has a certain depth of connection with their client, and that leading to better results. It's been studied and
Oh,
verified. And
wow.
so, as I deepen my own presence when I'm with someone in connection and conversation, one of the things that I know is really important is treating all of these things as incredibly affirming, and not that they're problems to solve, but again,
Mm,
more like projects to step into or spaces to unlock
yeah.
within yourself. So even all of these rooms, like the receiving parlor, they're all created in a way where when you walk in, this is not, oh, you have a wound and we need to close that gap. Like, this is not the space for that. That's not the energy. That's not what's resonant for me and my audience.
Yeah.
It wants to feel like it's confirmation of, yes, there's more inside of me. We're unlocking potential, not fixing wounds.
Yeah. And the fact that there is a receiving parlor tells me that I'm not the only one that needs this, or I'm not the only one that needs to be open to this, because there wouldn't be the receiving parlor if it wasn't necessary or
Right.
something that we need to work on.
I mean, this has been a long-standing. I think women are okay admitting that they need to stretch their capacity to receive, because I had a program many, many years ago that I ran twice a year, and that was the basis of the entire program, was helping you stretch into your, and every single woman came in like, "Yeah, I have a problem receiving support. I block it.
Wow.
I punt it. I resist it. All of it." So, I think that area is one that for my world has been quite mainstream. I think more recently, one of the other rooms is the Velvet Library, and that's where you go in to increase your intuition. And that seems to
What's
be a big
what's it
buzzword
called? The
right
what library? What
The
was
now.
it?
Velvet
velvet.
Library.
Oh, the Velvet Library?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So you
Okay.
go into that room to really hear that inner knowing, that inner wisdom. And that to me is a topic right now that's emerging pretty widely. And there's a heavy, heavy interest, both with men and women, on increasing intuitive skills.
Yeah. Yeah. I think and there's a certain part of that that's natural, and there's a certain part you can work on. You know what I'm saying? I think there's people that definitely have a more intuition than others. Do you think or no?
Oh, I do, for sure, and I think
Yeah.
that's where, the sensitivity comes in. I think people that are highly sensitive tend to also be incredibly empathic, and in
Mm.
being empathic, there's a sense of being able to pick up on information that is unseen.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I love this. This is so fun. Is there a basement room? No.
See, I'm working on it. I'm working on something that is like a basement, and it's
Okay.
it's the it's the room that you go to when you really gotta face some stuff.
Oh,
Mhm.
Like,
that's
you
an
need to
interesting
go in
yeah.
there, and you need to, it's down in the unconscious or the subconscious, and you really gotta go in there and you gotta work some stuff out. So it's
And
actually
the
on
basements are usually cluttered.
usually
So,
in
there's a lot of stuff there that you have to weed through to get to what you're
yes,
trying to find, that
yes,
kinda thing, yeah.
yeah.
I was wondering if there were some rooms, and you create more rooms where there's certain rooms where only men can go or will exist, as opposed to for women.
You know, that was another idea in my mind of creating a wing. So the existing platform could be the wing for women, and then maybe down the road, I open up a wing for men, and I create the rooms based around
Oh,
kind of the desires or the spaces inside of men that they're looking to access, because some of them may overlap, but I would have to talk differently to that audience, and I
Yeah.
would certainly have to create the tracks differently. So it's
Yeah.
also an idea that's floating.
Well, if you need any help on those rooms, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a mansion of rooms that I could probably tell you about.
Love. Need some sounding boards.
Yeah, so let's just keep going with this. Do you want to talk about any other rooms or no? I mean, this is just great stuff. I
mean,
think people are going to love this.
if you go to resonance-house.com, there's a 1-minute preview of each room as well as a deep dive of each room on there. So everyone can go see the 12 rooms that are there and kind of experience a taste of it.
What room do you think is the most popular? Is it the receiving one? Is that the one that you think is the most?
No, there's a room called the Treasury, which is all about material abundance and money. I think that's one of the most popular ones. I love that room. That audio track is awesome. It just there's like a treasury bath experience in that where you're essentially like floating in the energy of money, and it's just a really cool.
So it's money in a positive thing, not a negative thing.
Yeah, money in a positive thing. Yeah,
Good.
And opening up to it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's it. That I don't think I've ever heard of this explained this way with the rooms. I think it really, really, you know what it does? It makes it so visual for one.
Yeah.
And it compartmentalizes things too a little bit so that you're not working on all of yourself at one time. You're working on pieces of yourself. Imagine if I said I was going to redo my house and I want to paint all 12 rooms. People be like, you're crazy. Why don't you just take one room at a time, right?
Right.
That's what you're doing. You're painting one room at a time.
And they ripple. When you work on one aspect, it can't not touch the other spaces. So it really doesn't matter where you go. It's going to ripple out into every space, and then also almost every external outcome you take with you wherever you go. So if you work on your, there's a heart chamber for relationship development. If you go in there and work on your marriage, it's going to ripple through to relationship development in your career. So the nice thing about professional development is it's pretty hard to compartmentalize.
Yeah. But okay, so when you were coming up with this stuff, what were the things that you realized about yourself, or you really got deep on going, holy mackerel, I really needed to do this. I really needed to do what I'm doing here. Was there a time where you're like, this is groundbreaking? It's definitely something different and groundbreaking. It's very unique the way you're doing it. Did you sit there and go, oh man, this is good for me. Like I'm really getting something out of this too. Hey guys, I want to take a second and thank Comfort Pro. Since 2001, Comfort Pro has been helping customers stay comfortable where they live, work, and play. They have 24/7 emergency service and a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. If you need help with your heating and air conditioning or indoor air quality, call Comfort Pro at 484-917-1803. Mention the show and receive a free humidifier with the installation of a complete system.
I did. Yeah. I mean, accessing my creativity was really important because I was always a creative person. Are you familiar with 4-H?
Yeah, for some reason I do know 4-H.
It's kind of the equivalent of like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts.
Yes, I knew that's what I thought it was.
You do projects, you submit them at the fair.
Yes, I know what it is.
So I did that my entire childhood. And the thing is, you can pick project areas that you're innately interested in. So since I was 7, every summer I would do projects and then you submit them for the fair. And they were always creative. I was always doing creative stuff. And I was always very musical and musically inclined. And so audio was a big part of my life, or just, music in general, and professional development. I mean, ever since I was little, I was in 4-H doing demonstrations on accessorizing your wardrobe or acing the interview. Like I was always very interested in how we have built-in tools to get things.
Yeah.
And so for me, I did find a career where I was doing that, helping people use built-in tools to get things. But as the years went on, I kind of whittled away that creative side to me. I think you just fall into a groove of this is how it's done in the coaching industry, and these are best practices. And so when I stepped back and had some space to really deep dive with the support of people and mentors, I really, really was like, I'm bored. I'm going to, reinvent, but I cannot do it the same way. I am bored. And I'm the kind of person, I have to feel passionate about what I'm doing. I lead with myself and my personal brand. So if I'm not fully behind it with all of my energy, I know it's going to make my marketing and sales a lot harder.
Yeah, because it's not authentic.
It's right. And so when I came up with this, I mean, of course I was totally over the moon. And it felt like all facets of me just locked into place. Like
Yeah.
all of my favorite things, everything I love to do, it just all kind of clicked into place. So it's been like a homecoming for me, really, in a lot
No,
of ways.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And you're only 41. My goodness.
I'm only
This
40.
is you got so much to do yet. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's great. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
let's go into I love the power of styling your energy and transitioning states. The vacation mode to work mode to mom mode. Like,
Yes.
can we talk about that a little bit?
Oh, for sure. So I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Oh,
And
good for you.
I know how that goes when I'm in drive mode all day getting stuff done, and then they come home at 3:30. And if I don't transition, I'm gonna take that into mom mode, and we do it, right? Like, it happens.
Sure.
It's not great. It's not
Yeah.
great to be in that
There's usually some things in between that blend, I'm sure, when it goes from there to mom mode.
Yeah, yeah. It's I bring a certain energy that is meant for maybe the boardroom that is not meant for being a mom, right? And
Yep.
and it doesn't work. And
They
so
all do it. Yep.
having transitions or even just, knowing I'm going to leave for the weekend on a staycation with my husband. Let's get out of that mode and let me shut my brain down and go into this space. It
Yeah.
has been so helpful for me to intentionally decide who I'm going to be in the circumstance that I'm about to step into. Not only does it allow me to have a tremendous amount of self agency, but when you approach it in a way that's not rigid, you also are much more adaptable to going with the flow because it's not going to go the way that you probably
Mhm.
want all the time, right?
Yep, sure.
So if I at least intend, like, hey, I'm about to move into a space and who I need to be is in fun mode and relaxation mode, and I need to turn that controlling manager part of me off, and I just want to be in like fun,
Yeah.
it has been so helpful, and it
That's
allows me
that's
to be
good.
more present.
Well, yeah, and that's our biggest thing as entrepreneurs, as driven people, is we tend to blend the spaces, blend the people that we are.
Right.
So we end up doing personal stuff when we're at work, doing work stuff when we're doing personal stuff. You know what I mean? So, a lot of times it's really hard. It's hard. To me, it's a work in progress. It is
Yeah,
constant. I mean,
yeah,
I don't care who you are. We're human. We know what we're supposed to do,
right,
but it doesn't mean that it always goes perfectly like that. But
right,
part of the whole thing is being aware of it.
right.
If you're aware of it, you can at least do a better job at it.
Well,
You know?
I think there's only one thing you really need to be aware of that then you go, "I need to take a pause and really listen for the deeper self-awareness," is friction.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
the goal is flow, and if it's not
Yeah.
flowing, there's friction, and if I'm feeling any kind of friction, it's because something's not in alignment. And most of the time I have control over that. Sometimes it's just no, and maybe you do have to push through, but I really don't like to be in any kind of like push through energy.
Yeah.
And so even just styling your energy when it comes to like the workday, there are certain things that require the creative part of me to lead. But if I don't know that when I sit down, let's say to write content for marketing,
Yeah.
that needs to come from the creative part of me, not the manager part of me. If you don't set that intention, you will go in there managing it, and then you end up having content or creating something that's really not that magnetic. It
Yeah.
could be great, but it's not going to be as magnetic when I come from the creative part of me.
Totally understand. I used to write music. I was a musician too, I should say.
Right.
Film musician, yeah. I sang for many years, still sing here and there. But yeah, I agree with you. When I used to write music, you can't go into writing music of I'm gonna write music. It has to come through you. It has to come through you and be a very it's hard to say, like a relaxed thing. It shouldn't be forced.
Yes.
And when you're forcing creativity, it's not creativity.
No, it's production.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Very good
Yeah.
term for that. So let's go into, before we wrap this up, let's go into highly sensitive people. I've never really heard of that term or really, I mean, I might have, and you're saying 20% of the population and sensory significance is highly sensitive person. So HSP is
Yep.
someone who processes sensory information, emotions, social cues more deeply than most people. And you said that you are a highly sensitive person. Is that right?
Yeah.
So tell
Yeah.
me, what does that mean? What does that do for you? What are the setbacks of that? Or tell me what that all is.
So it's a superpower and it's annoying because you feel everything. And as my husband would say, not everything's 10 layers deep. Because
This sounds familiar.
you I feel it more than I'm picking up on words. And
Okay.
that term was not coined until like the past 20 years. It's a relatively new body of research, and it is a biological, neurobiological like difference in that part of the
Oh, wow.
population, evenly split between men and women. So it's not more women than
Yeah.
men; it's evenly split.
What does it
And
look like? Like, how do you feel? What do you see? What is different than like somebody that doesn't have that?
it's like I can tell by my husband's footsteps, let's say, when he's walking around the house, that like something's off, or he just had a confrontational conversation. And then if I listen, which is for me, it's a felt sense. I pick up
Yeah.
very deeply on emotional patterns that are happening within someone, even when they're masking it through their presence. And
Wow.
so I can feel the emotional undercurrents of what's going on with someone. Makes me a very fast read and fast study of people. It's been great for coaching.
Yeah.
And actually, I think when we first connected, I didn't have Resonance House actually. When
No,
you and
you
I
didn't. You did not. It
no,
was not. It was something. It was like
I
your
was
Instagram page.
I was doing photo readings. And so
That's what you were doing. I
yeah,
totally forgot about that.
yeah,
That's what you're doing. Photo readings.
yeah, so people were
Did
sending
you read my photo?
I did not. No, you never submitted photos.
Ah, son of a gun. And you know what's funny? I was supposed to do that. And I totally forgot that was what you were doing.
Yeah, so people and
That's
you
actually
can
what
do it.
attracted me was that. And then also what's good about this is then when you reached out again, or I reached out to you, I saw you, all of a sudden I saw this different thing, and it was the Residence House. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, that must be what I really thought was cool. But
yeah.
I remember the picture readings.
Well,
Yes.
the energy reads are on Resonance House, so people can find those there. But it's me picking up on your. So you send me 5 photos. We're not live. I pull them up on my screen, and I'm able to. I turn my camera on like this, and I just flow for about 25 minutes based on what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, untapped potential, some challenges that might be going on. So some people might liken it to intuitive reads, but frankly, it's just me leveraging my sensitivity. I pick up on
Wow.
everything. Um,
Wow.
I've done hundreds of them. I've
That
had a lot
is so
of success
cool.
with them, and it's been really great for people to just feel seen.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of times the power of just feeling seen and having someone articulate your emotions back to you when you can't put words to them. And that's kind of the sweet spot that I've landed in. So again, with sensitivity, for a long time, as most sensitive people, they think it's a bad thing
Yeah.
because it's so much. Like a day like today, we're recording on September 11th. There were a lot of things that
Mhm.
happened yesterday. It's a heavy day. It's a
Yeah.
really heavy day. And
Yeah.
collectively, sensitive people tend to absorb a lot. And the nice thing about something like Resonance House is you start to come into control of your energy instead of letting it get hijacked by everything that's going on around you. And that's a
Yeah.
really big challenge for highly sensitive people, is not letting their moods and their emotions hijack them.
Yeah, wow. Interesting. That's very, very cool. No, it's really interesting stuff. And so next time, are you going to have something else that I'm going to have to like learn or do? Or I mean, you're constantly changing things.
No, I hope not. This is it. This was a two
You
and a
know
half year hiatus to reinvent.
Oh,
Now
wow.
I'm digging my heels in on Resonance House for the
Well,
foreseeable.
and thank goodness I'm not looking out on Instagram trying to find the girl that was reading pictures.
That's
It
me.
is so funny because I totally remember going, "Oh, this will be kind of cool. I'll send her my picture before the show, and she'll read it, and then
Yeah,
I'll be like yelling at her, telling her she's
yeah.
wrong." And yeah, no, I would never do that. But no, I really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Yeah,
What a great time. You are easy. You're not only you're good at reading people, but you're also easy to talk to.
oh, thank you.
Very easy to talk to, and I can see why Sylvia and you were in partners together in a business because
Oh,
you
yeah.
both are wonderful people,
Yeah, we have
really cool people. Is there anything else that you want to say?
I mean,
How do we find you?
but find me over at resonance-house.com. And then I'm Shauna VanBogart across everything, but predominantly Instagram. I am over on Substack as well. That's a newer thing.
Awesome, awesome, so great. It's great to see you. Thanks for being on the show. I'm sure we'll have you back again sometime. Pretty
Thank
sure
you.
about that. All righty, take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Oh my God, great show. What do you think, Hugo?
I saw that.
Pretty
all
amazing.
that
Pretty
was pretty
amazing.
cool.
Shauna VanBogart. VanBogart. She's from Charleston, South Carolina. You want to check her out. Residence House. Just look up Residence House. I know it's in there. It's on Instagram. She's got a website. There's so much good stuff there. Thanks for listening again every Thursday, 7 p.m.